Hi, this is Tyson from Dinosaur Dog Studio, and today I'm going to teach you the basics of vocal production. So 3 things that people often get wrong when they're first starting to record vocals and that are going to make your vocals clearer, more powerful, and overall better and easier to mix. So before I get into those 3 items, I want to offer you a free gift. So I created a EQ guide that is perfect for anyone who cannot seem to get a clear, powerful mix. This goes through all the instruments and how to EQ them. It doesn't just give you a flat EQ curve that you copy one for one, but it gives you direction in terms of it matches your intention of your EQ to the areas of frequencies for certain instruments. For example, if you want your kick drum to stand out in the mix a little bit more and be a little bit more clicky and have more definition to it, it'll show you exactly where to boost that for a kick drum. So if you want that EQ guide, go ahead and click there's going to be a link in the description below this video and you can go grab that. Now, getting into the 3 things that you should be doing in all your vocal productions in order to get amazing, powerful, and clear vocals. So first thing is you need to pick a room to record your vocals in. So oftentimes you'll just record your vocals in whatever room your setup is in. In this case, I have a home studio that I use all the time and record in, which can be great if you have a room that's set up intentionally as a studio and is treated with sound. However, the issue with that is that that room may not be the best one. If it's a bedroom, if it's, 9 by 9 square feet, it's probably not the best room to record your vocals in. Instead, what I recommend is finding a space that's the biggest space you have available, usually a living room, that has lots of furniture or things that doesn't allow the sound to bounce off everywhere. And with that in mind, generally that room is also not going to be treated. And so for treatment, what I recommend is actually focusing on treatment behind your singer's head. If it's you or someone else who you're recording, make sure that they have like a mattress behind the head or something above the microphone too. So the 2 places you're gonna get the most reflections from is the sound coming from the singer, bouncing off the wall behind them, and then into the mic. The reason it's not the wall that they're projecting towards is because a microphone like this condenser microphone captures most of the audio straight from the front. It doesn't capture that much from the back, and therefore you're not gonna get that many reflections coming back here. Instead, it's really gonna be the wall behind the singer coming back, bouncing off over here, and then coming into the mic. And so you wanna focus on that area first if you only have a limited amount of mattresses, duvets, along those lines. Put it behind your singer first and then focus on in front of the microphone. The other place you're gonna get a lot of reflections from is right above your head. And so if you have the ability to put 2 mattresses behind you and then like a duvet or something covering the mattresses, that way you're gonna get the most bang for your buck with those limited materials. So again, all you need is like 2 mattresses and a duvet and you can create a nice vocal booth. Your vocalist is actually gonna be facing out towards the room, which may seem backwards to you, but again, the microphone collects all the information from here. So the second thing, after you've chosen a room, is to choose your mic placement. If you have multiple microphones, I do recommend trying them out and testing them with your vocalist, but I covered that last week in another video, so you can go back and watch that if you want to. So when I talk about mic placement though, generally with a large condenser microphone like this one, you're gonna be about 5 to 12 inches away from the microphone. So I recommend starting around 6 inches from the microphone to start, and then coming away from it if you find your dynamics are too great, etc. I cover that again in the other video. I'm not going to cover that too much here. You have basically 3 options though once you get here. So most people will just start off with the microphone right here, which is about 6 inches away, right at their lip level. The other options that you have is you can actually lift the microphone up and then point it towards their mouth. It's still gonna get roughly the same amount of volume out of the singer, but it's actually gonna remove a lot of the bass frequencies because a lot of that is projected from your chest, not actually your face. And so this way you're gonna get a more trebly sound and less bass. So if you're getting a really muddy vocal sound here, just lift it up a couple inches and it's gonna clear out all of that mud. And then the other thing you can do is if you're not getting enough bass, if you're not getting a warm enough sound that you want, you can actually move the microphone down below and then project it up towards the singer. Again, it's still going to have roughly the same amount of volume and fidelity. However, it's just going to be a little bit more richer and a little bit more warmer if you move the microphone down. Generally, I'll start here and then evaluate if the vocal needs more or less bass in the recording. Or if you're not sure what that actually sounds like, go ahead and just experiment with your singer. Just try those 3 basic positions and then decide which one sounds best and go with it. The first 2 decisions you need to make is what room you're gonna use, what microphone you're gonna use, and where you're gonna place that microphone. And then the last thing is make sure you get lots of takes of the vocal performance. What I recommend doing is picking an entire verse or an entire chorus and taking it section by section and have your vocalist sing multiple takes of the same verse or same chorus. What a lot of people will be tempted to do is once they get a good take or a good enough take for each section, then they'll call the song done and then they'll move right on to mixing. This is a huge mistake. So what you want to do is you want to get the singer warmed up, and then right when you're starting to get good takes of each section, then you're going to record 3 takes that you think are really good. And then you want to compile those takes into a single take. So vocal, and also known as vocal comping. You can look up YouTube videos on how to do that if you're not sure how to do that in your DAW. However, vocal comping, what it basically does is you record 3 takes and then you pick the best sections, the best words, the best phrases out of each of those 3 takes, and then that creates your main vocal take. After you do that, now you can record doubles, harmonies, etc., lots of vocal layers. I recommend doing at least 1 vocal double of the main one. That's gonna sit really quiet in your mix, but you can do the same exact process, get 3 takes of that, compile it so that it matches the original take as best you can with the remaining takes you have. This way, it's gonna make your vocal thicker and more powerful, but it's also not going to remove as much dynamics as a compressor would, for example. So a compressor can make it sound thick and heavy, but it's gonna remove a lot of the dynamics. Rather, you could just double the vocal. It's gonna sound thicker, but it's not gonna remove near as many dynamics as a compressor would. In recap, make sure you choose a room. I would recommend choosing the largest room you can that's also as best treated as you can. If you just have a normal house with no professional sound treatment, I recommend just using your living room. It's likely going to be the best bet. Second is make sure you play around with your microphone and mic placement. And then last is make sure you get enough takes of your vocalist and you're getting the best takes you can from them. Make sure you're encouraging them and make sure you just capture the best vocal performance possible. With that in mind, again, if you're struggling with your mixes, go ahead and get that free EQ guide below in the description. And I hope this video was super helpful for you. Go check out my last video if you need some more help with your vocals. I cover the 3 cardinal sins of vocal production that I see almost everybody making. So make sure you check that one out too. It doesn't cover the same things as this video, so there is more content there if you found this helpful. All right, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great week. Tune in next week and I'll have more great content for you regarding music production and mixing.